How you do it every Friday, huh?
All right, hey, we're live. It's Friday. We have our good friend Artem here from Logo Unlimited, and welcome to the Q&A with Alan and Marshall show. And we're happy you're here, and it's going to be a great episode with the always fun and energetically crazy Artem Ionitsa with Logo Unlimited. Shirt Lab rock paper scissors champion.
Yeah.
And, from our Portland event, and which is probably the best trophy you've ever received in your life, I bet.
That's right.
You worked hard for that. And
Yeah.
so anyway,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be a great show. And we're going to a lot of really fun stuff that we're going to get into. So, but if you're watching right now, please do us a favor and say hello. We want to know where you're watching from and what's going on with you. And then also, if you could please share that you're watching, because we really want to develop our viewership. And you know that helps us.
Absolutely.
But anyway, so what's going on? Like weather-wise, you're in Seattle, so is it like 40 degrees? Is it 80 degrees? What's going on with Seattle?
It's 40 degrees and raining. It's normal. So no sun for us for another, 4 months, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's horrible, but coffee helps. Tequila as well, but yeah. So we're
you're in the coffee and plaid capital of the world, right?
Yes,
I mean,
correct. Yeah. Well, that's what they say. Yeah. Correct. That's why the Starbucks, right? Because you need some coffee in the EU. And it used to be a capital of we had the most suicides at one point in Seattle. Washington was the most suicidal city.
Is that because of the rain?
Seattle. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here you go. That's where I am.
Okay. Well, great. Well, let's say hi to some folks, and then we'll run a commercial and we'll get into some stuff. So Heather's watching. Good morning, guys. She was on last week, so really appreciate her. And Brian's here.
Go.
Guest host Brian from a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Ray's here. Good morning. And Coffee says the printing man's crack.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Right. So anyway, thanks guys for watching. I'm sure we'll have more folks join us soon. Let's do us a favor and run the commercial because I want to get into a bunch of stuff. So here we go.
GSG, the combination of over half a century of knowledge with industry-leading technology and the customer at the center of everything that we do. Graphic Solutions Group is a powerhouse distributor of traditional screen, sign, wide format digital printing, embroidery, and textile decorating. We are committed to our customers, providing support, educational, and consulting services. Your success is our success. We've seen these industries grow and change in our 70 years. One thing never changes: GSG's dedication providing the best products and services available. We've been around, we'll be around, from the highs and the lows, standing right here with you. GSG, the right products, right away.
And thanks so much for GSG for sponsoring our little show. We really appreciate them.
Yeah.
And you were just at their new distribution center, right? Where is that?
It's not their newest one. Their newest one is in Denver. I was in Cincinnati on Monday. Met with Kyle Irons, the branch manager. Met Jack, one of their customer service guys, which is cool because their customer service, they'll take calls from a queue from like whoever's available. It was pretty cool.
So you could be calling from Miami and they're answering it in Cincinnati.
Absolutely. So could be. So it's kind of cool on that. This is they moved to a new warehouse. They outgrew their other one like instantly. And the more I'm there, and I haven't had the pleasure yet of being their corporate like you have. You know what? They do so many things right. And they have a ton of room. They have a big space that they're going to have some training. They're going to have some M&R equipment there and do some training, which Marshall, you and I have talked about that, which I think is going to be incredible.
Yep.
And, being in the sign industry, which is, not a space you and I run in a whole lot, but I'm still amazed at
little known fact. I used to be a sign painter.
Okay, cool. Well, for a supplier, anybody with horsehair brushes and gold leaf, there's an art that's gone. But you know what? To how much they deal in substrate, that stuff is big, and it's heavy, and like their delivery system is incredible.
Yeah,
on it. And then we were talking about LED lights and stuff that they do, plus screen, plus roll-ins they have there. They're doing a lot.
Yeah.
So,
that's good. And I'll tell you who has a lot of toys, and that's Artem.
Artem has a bunch of toys.
He's got like one of everything you can get. He's got one of them.
And they're all shiny. Yeah. That's how they get me.
Yeah. It's shiny and looks cool and moves around and lights and
Yeah, so that's one of those DTF printers, one of the first ones, Gen 1 I have.
Really? Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and he does embossing. Why don't you just we'll just start off with let's just share what you're doing. I got a little graphic here. So talk about your shop, talk about all the different decoration methods. And if you're watching right now and you're interested in some of these, because Artem does a lot of craziness, ask your question about how to do it, right? So just throw that out there. So Artem, share your wide array of stuff that you do.
So we do embroidery, we do screen printing, we do dye sublimation, even though I don't like it, but I still do it sometimes. We do emboss, we do deboss, we do laser etching, and my favorite, multimedia, when we combine different decoration techniques on one garment. That's my favorite. And that's, I believe, with all of those toys, that's what sets us apart from everyone in Washington State, right? Because I started 8 years ago and with zero experience in this industry. Well, let me rephrase it. I had experience a long time ago. My first t-shirt I sold when I was 12. And the imprint on the shirt was, believe it or not, back in the Soviet Union days, it was Statue of Liberty. So yeah, it was insane. So back in the day, back in the late 80s, before the collapse of Soviet Union, my father, he had a shop, and he actually was doing cut and sew. And back then it was state run at the factories, right? And this is before the collapse, before all the craziness happened in Soviet Union. My father actually was one of the first people that opened a business. And so when I was 11, I think I was putting, so don't tell anyone, I think we were making fake 501s back then. Levi's. So me and my brother,
fake stuff sold, unbelievable.
Oh yeah, and I think our quality was better too.
I would not disagree with. So.
Yeah. So we were getting all the trims, all the buttons, everything from Turkey, and me and my brother, we were sitting at our 2-bedroom apartment, punching those buttons in.
Punching rivets in, yeah.
And rivets, yeah. And our neighbors did not like us. We were on the second floor, and so then I guess, well, we couldn't go anywhere, right, because of the Iron Curtain. So we could go to Eastern Bloc country. So my father went to Bulgaria, which was insane for us. And he brought one of those shirts, and they had on the pocket, they had little Statue of Liberty. And I said, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever. I'm going to print shirts. So I found the guy who had the manual press. He printed some for me, like 100, I think. I went to a local market, bazaar, instead of school, because that's what I did. Stood there with the shirts, and I sold them like in 4 hours.
Yeah.
So that was my first experience with the screen printing, and then I said, not for me. But I came back to it 8 years ago with no experience, no nothing, and I knew that in order for me to separate myself from the people that were in business for 20, 30, 40 years, that already have established client base, a customer base, vendors, all of those things, I needed to be different than them. And the first thing that I bought with money that I have left was a laser, $100,000 laser. And I said, this is the coolest thing ever. Screw embroidery. Everyone does embroidery. Everyone does screen printing. I'm going to do something different. And of course, having just one laser was not enough, because people started asking me for embroidery and appliques and all of those cool things. So here I go. I went and I bought the first embroidery machine. And then it went downhill from there. Yeah. So as far as why I started doing screen printing is because I never kind of, in my space in Washington State, nobody was doing any specialty prints. And first time I went to ISS show, I was blown away.
What year was that? You went to the ISS first year?
Not like 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
4 or 5 years ago. That was the first show for me, probably 5 years ago.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, it's all available. I can make stuff look like Nike and Under Armour and all the gels and HDs and all of those things. And I was so impressed by it, and nobody was doing it. So I said, screw it. I can't make anyone do it for me. So I went and I bought the Rock Press, 8-color, 12 station. And I'm like, okay, I got the press. I spent thousands of dollars on those specialty inks. I'm like, I probably need to hire a press operator right about now.
Yeah.
So that's how I do things.
You know what I love about you is you're so optimistic. I'm just going to buy the thing and then I'll figure out how to make it work.
And I'm not just going to buy it and print. I'm going to buy it and make high-end stuff.
Exactly. So COVID, I mean, it was a horrible thing, but I mean, for us, it gave us a lot of free time. I mean, and I'm not saying we were free because we were busy doing other stuff. And I actually, during COVID, I worked more than I ever did pre-COVID, which was insane. And I'm like, that's not cool. Like, everyone is at home. I'm here working. And all of my guys, I actually gave them 2 weeks off, and then I brought everyone back. Everyone.
So we got stuff to do.
Exactly. Yeah, we became essential, and that's it. And so, and during that time, that's when we experimented a lot with a lot of different, the lenticular print. I always like those.
You do lenticular?
Yeah. I mean, we did, but we end up doing 2 sides. But I've seen guys in Pakistan do 4 sides, so up and down as well, which is insane. So all of those things intrigue me, and all my goal is, when I produce the garments, I mean, I'm not saying we're doing boring, left chest embroideries. We do those, unfortunately. But what we're trying to do is to tell our clients, hey, go to any high-end store, go to Neiman Marcus, go to Nordstrom's, go wherever you go, bring me a garment, and 99.9% I'll figure out how it's made. And I can make it the same way with your logo. So, and that's what I'm kind of trying to break in, where people come to my showroom and they see some of the samples, and then they're like, oh my God, only Nike does it, or Under Armour. I love their different decoration techniques. Super dry is one of my favorite as well. They always experiment. They're always trying to do different things. So what I do at nights, I have a glass of wine. I would have a cigar, but it's raining, so I haven't smoked one since last summer. So, and I just go online and I look for cool things, and then I come back to work next day and I show it to my screen printer or my embroidery people, and we're like, let's figure this baby out. And,
I love the best part of that story. I love is that even in the beginning, when you're in Russia, you're like 12, 13, and you see a shirt that, like I said, it happened to just be Statue of Liberty, and you just said, nobody's doing that. I want to do it. And you immediately right there, I think it was etched in stone. I'm going to do stuff that nobody else wants or nobody else is doing.
Nobody else is doing. Exactly. Yeah. So, and that was, like I said, that was one of the my plans, I guess, my vision, that in order for me to stand out and compete with people, other shops, I need to be different. And now I think I'm trying to get to a different level. That's what I'm working on right now. Now I want to create my own category.
Well, the idea is that you build a castle, right? And then you build a moat around the castle, and you're just untouchable once you get to a certain thing, right? Exactly. Hey, we got some folks joining us. Want to say hello. So Sean's here.
Hey, Sean.
Josh is here. Good morning, Sean. Glenn, our buddy Glenn's here. Hey, Glenn. Best for Tees is here. Howdy. So thanks for joining us, guys. If you've got anybody watching, if you've got a question for Artem about any of the stuff that he's doing, please put it in the chat. I'm sure he'll share what he's doing. Here you go. Got a thing from Ray. If you're thinking about printing OLEDs on cloth, organic full color LED, I could probably connect you with a client in Mexico. We may need a partner to make it happen.
Okay. I like it.
Full color LED on garment.
Oh, that's really cool. I'm very interested in that, Ray. Hey, Mark. Mark Sladonics here. Hey, guys. Good morning.
So I love Artem just on the technical end that you're actually doing lenticular. That is something that always fascinates me. I remember the first time I saw it. Just Joe Clark showed it to me like eons ago. But there's very few people that can do it and do it well. I've seen it from side to side. I've yet to see it side to side and top and bottom. I know some people in Turkey can do it.
Thinking about how to design that. I've done lenticular side to side, and getting everything to line up is crazy. And then if you're doing two other directions, what kind of artwork you got to put together so it's forming all those images, right?
Yeah, I'll see. So I went to a magic show a while back because it was in Vegas. I'm like, I have to go.
Yep.
And I found the whole show was, everything is the same. Everyone is selling the same thing. And it was, I think I was there for three days, and all I left with this one company in Pakistan, and their quality of their prints was insane. And I still have the pictures, so I'll share it with you. But it was next level. I haven't seen anything like that. I haven't figured out how it was done, because this is pre-hybrids, right? The direct-to-garment pre-hybrid. So they would have what it looked like a digital print, and then they would put the specialty things on top, right? Like HDs and gels.
I've done some mixed media stuff with a DTG, and then you print a clear gel, and then you put I put the reflective foil on top of that.
Right.
Yep.
So it was a bunch of flowers, but I had all this craziness, and then it was exactly in little areas that I want, and I won a golden squeegee award with that. Right.
There you go. That's awesome.
And it was designed just for that award category, actually.
Yep.
So it wasn't really for anybody. It was just me goofing off. So
I do some of those projects as well, just for me.
Yeah.
And nobody likes them around my shop. I'm like, but this is so cool. Let's
make it. This is how you learn when somebody says about something you've already done 3 or 4 or 6 things that kind of lead up to that, and now you're ready to do whatever somebody asked you, because you've already made a bunch of mistakes learning how to do the other things.
Right.
That's where the real magic happens, is in the failure and we're trying to figure it out because nobody hits the home run with the first pitch. You got to like really mess a bunch of stuff up. So,
Exactly.
Yep,
that's what we do.
I can't get out of my head the lenticular print you were talking about. So we have some guys on here that know more than me on it, and lenticular is way above my league. So guys like, I'm going to call out Mark Sildonic, Glenn Shaw, Richard Greaves, some of them. So what he was talking about is a lenticular print, and we've seen him go side to side, but this one went side to side and up and down and all that. So
I'll share the pictures.
Yeah, I would love to know your guys' thought, because if people aren't sure what lenticular is, I don't even know how to begin with it. The last good lenticular print I saw, Mark Gervais showed me at Academy, and it was incredible. So that's something that you want to set yourself apart. Just a lenticular print is incredible.
Correct, but this is right. This is all screen printing, and all of us here, well, especially in Washington State, everyone is using plastisol, or some of us use water-based, blah blah blah. I'm like, all fine and everything, but there's so much more, right? All the invisible inks, all the crackling inks, the puffs, and it's just awesome, right? And I just love that. And nobody's doing it. I mean, from what I know. I mean, now obviously it became a little bit more mainstream, but I mean, I just love that.
So Ray said he talks about doing lenticular on polycarbonate. I drank a lot more back then. And I forgot about that, because I remember at Golden Image Awards, Jack Stansel from out of, I want to say Germany, but I think Austria or something, where he's from. Maybe Poland. He actually had an award for a graphics print where it looked blank until you walk by, and then the image was there. It was incredible.
Yeah, a real common thing to do is like white with white, and then you see on the side is colors. Nike does a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So,
and like I said, I've always seen it on shirts, but this was on a graphic, on a sign, like a poster, which was awesome.
Yeah,
so.
Cool. Hey, somebody watching from India. So
there you go.
Thanks.
Jitendra, how you doing?
Yeah. Mark says HD with LED underglow is phenomenal. We'll be posting in the next few weeks on our YouTube.
And what I love, we talk about high-end stuff when we're talking lenticular on there. To go high-end, it doesn't have to be, something way out of there. It could be the proper use of a gel, the proper use of a foil, a combination like Mark said, HD with LED underglow. How cool!
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea.
And it could be just a couple things to tweak.
Richard says, when I'm home this weekend, I'll share links to Joe Clark's articles on lenticular. Thanks, Richard.
Richard, are you are you on the beach in the Bahamas again?
How you doing, Peter?
Morning, Peter.
Hey, by the way, your art department sent me their ad, so tell them thank you. Anyway, so that's kind of the skinny on Artem's company. He does some amazing work, and it's really cool. I've been to his shop. Last week we had Heather Streibel on because she was on Adventures in Apparel Decorating, and guess what? Artem also was a veteran of that show as well, and we did a embossed sweatshirt on that show, and that was a lot of fun. So
it didn't go as planned, but next time we'll do it better.
Well, it was you were very optimistic. It was very optimistic about this one design for a client who at the last minute said you can't use it, and then we had to go to plan B, right? And we had the film crew there, right? So it was not like had a lot of time to mess around. So
I'll be more prepared next time, I promise.
All right. So hey, topic 2. Branding. So Artem, why don't you talk about what you shared with us about what you're doing right now? Because I think it's really relevant to a lot of people.
I don't know what I'm doing yet, but the plan, well, what I'm thinking or my approach is I've been following a lot of screen print shops, right? On Instagram, mostly Instagram. We all look the same. We all take the same video of the press and the squeegee going up and down, and you know, and the same picture, same everything. And I'm like, oh my god! And I was doing the same thing, and I just, well, I had nothing better to do. I'm like, hey, let's rebrand again. Well, this is my third or fourth time, believe it
Mhm.
or not, in 8 years. So now I'm trying to do it right, and don't change. Just kind of continue with that. So the first thing that I did, so I well we during COVID we well no after COVID what during COVID after COVID I redesigned my website. So with the redesign of the website was the plan, the idea was I didn't want have schools or soccer moms calling me ordering 12 shirts. Like
Mhm.
I did not want to receive those calls at all ever, but I do every single day. And I'm like, what on my website tells you that I would print your 10 t-shirts? But work in progress. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it as premium looking, high end as possible, so I can start attracting bigger, better clients. Same thing with the social media. I believe our clients, we don't get clients from Instagram or Facebook. I don't think so. I can't be 100% positive because my clients mostly are on the LinkedIn, and that's where I find them, right? Or they find me. So I believe my customer travel experience, they start on my website, and then from my website they'll go on my social media, most
Right.
likely Instagram because it's all pictures, blah blah blah. So that's what I do. Actually, this week I decided to delete almost 1,000 posts that I had on my Instagram and start from zero, complete zero.
That's a bold
We bring
move.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is. It's
and I'm
incredible.
well. See, and the reason, yes, it was, but at the same time, I think the people that are actually following me, like my clients, they they know that something cool is coming, right? We wouldn't just do that and have a blank canvas there for a week. So they know something is coming, and the ones who just follow us just because, I don't care about them, right?
Right.
I care about my client, my presence, my the way I'm perceived online,
Mhm.
right? So we are redesigning a mood board, and we not just gonna post pictures. We actually gonna, I mean, we will post pictures, but we're gonna take more time of taking. I bought a freaking camera for almost $2,000 or $3,000. I don't want to. I don't remember. I don't want to remember. And right, so and I'm like, hey, we need lights, we need area where we can start higher, take better pictures, more creative pictures. So people, when they go and look at our post, they go, oh my god, this is a design company, this is a marketing company, and they take awesome pictures besides making cool
Yep.
garments, right? So that's my kind of direction, because before, when I started, I wanted to be like everyone else. Now I understand that everyone else were all competing on the price, so it's
Right.
race to the bottom. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm actually going to go the opposite direction, and I want to be the highest guy, the most expensive guy on the block. And by a block, I mean North America.
Are you the most expensive guy in your state?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna start small. I mean, my whole vision as far as the branding and marketing, I don't need clients in Florida or New York, right? I mean, I'm not saying that if they'll reach out, I'm gonna tell them no, but I want to build a stronger presence here in Washington State first before I branch out anywhere else.
Hmm.
If it makes sense, right? Because why would I go to Oregon or California when I have all the companies? They're all here, all the construction companies, all the tech companies, they're all here. I don't have them all. So until I win them all, then I'll start branching out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's I'm learning as I go. I'm reading more about social media than I ever did. It's painful. It's not my thing, but I mean, I'm learning every day.
It'll be your
So
thing.
have you thought about using a brand consultant to help you with your
Yes, I yes, and I am
your
interviewing.
journey on this?
Correct. Yes, I'm interviewing actually a couple agencies right now, right, just to see what they offer, what they can offer, right? Because I'm not only rebranding. I mean, the website is done, but right now, during my online social media rebranding, I'm also building the online store, true e-commerce store, right, where you can go and buy a Patagonia jacket for your team,
Mhm.
24 jackets. You upload the logo, you go right chest placement, upload the logo, pick your sizes, colors, pay money up front, cha-ching, and then we go to work, right? So it's been a real struggle to get money up front, but I'm
Right.
slowly. I mean, this year has been interesting because I do have some clients that do require net 30, and I'm like, I like you and you like me, let's see what we can do. So but
Right.
most of my clients I've switched to payment up front before
Good.
I even do anything. So it's a process, but thanks to to your channel, to Shirt Tribe, I'm learning. I'm learning as I go.
Good. Very good.
Uh,
I like
but
that you're learning as you go. A lot of people learn and they start off small and they learn in what you call it at the bottom in the mud with everybody else and stuff. And you're going, if I'm going to learn high end and profitable.
Some people never learn, right? So,
Yeah.
hey, we got a whole lot of comments. We get through
Fine.
these because I just want to recognize some folks. So, Megalag Unlimited says this one's rad. I'm not sure what that refers to, but Ron's here. Happy Good Friday.
Always a good day.
Thanks, Ron. Valuable info. Thanks, guys. Richard says the show clock driver.
Marshall, do you know Mega Lab? If not, tell us where you're from.
Yeah, Peter says thanks. He was recognizing what I said, so appreciate that. Have you ever printed on Grundens? I don't know what a Grunden is.
I don't know what Grundens are.
Grunden is a waterproof fabric for construction and fishing industry.
I know you do a lot of fishing stuff, so that makes sense.
I do a lot of fishing stuff, and actually, Grundens, they're here. They're in Washington State. Like I said, everyone is in Washington State. So they actually reached out to me pre-COVID, and they asked me if I can print on their Grundens, and they wanted to do a one-color print. When I was done with it, I gave them a 7-color print on a waterproof fabric, and it's a bibs, it's rain jackets for fishermen, right? Especially, Alaska, but they do a lot of construction gear as well. So all of those fabrics are different. Some work, some don't. But out of the samples that we got from Grundens, we screwed up a lot of times, but I mean, we gave them good quality prints that they loved. And I believe if you call Grundens right now, and this is the company that if you're a fisherman, if you need a rain waterproof gear, you call them and you say, hey, do you have a screen printer in mind who can screen print it? Most likely they'll send them to me.
Good.
Yeah. So here you go. Yeah. But it's been in the butt.
When you printed them, did you have to remove the waterproofing on the print area?
No, because it screws everything up. So it's all the catalyst, all the voodoo stuff that we do around here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I was thinking, because we used to on jackets, waterproof jackets, used to have to remove the waterproofing just in the image area a little bit to get it to bite. But now the catalysts are a lot better in it, and so if you get it to bite,
we try. I mean, we keep trying, right? I mean, I go as far as to Amazon. If I find something that I haven't seen before, I would buy a little bottle so we can test it and see. But I bought probably from every single vendor out there, so it's always.
Did they all work? Or
no,
not?
No. They don't.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
And yeah, which is interesting and challenging, right? So usually before we take on the project like that, we say, hey, send us a sample, we're gonna test it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, because
Love
they
it.
do have a very thick layer of waterproofing on the fabric. So it's a challenge for sure.
I've done that a lot, and I would say, hey, can you send me something? I want to ruin it.
Yep,
And,
exactly.
and they go, well, we don't want you to ruin it. I can't send you one. I go, then we can't print it. We can't do the job. And I've had people go, hey, can you print on the elastic waistband of a Lululemon yoga pants? I'm like, I don't know. Can I? Send me something. Oh, well, it's $120 pair of leggings. I'm like, well, if you can't send me one to ruin, then I'm not interested in printing 100 for you. So
yeah, for me to ruin, can't pay for it. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Charlie's here. He says hi.
Hey, Charlie.
Indra's enjoying it. So thanks. Josh says KC in North Carolina, a very tight race on barbecue.
Yep, I was going to say that barbecue.
I don't know. I've had barbecue everywhere, and it's not the state, it's the restaurant or the pit master. So just
and it's different kinds of barbecue. To me, from being in Michigan, they're all good.
Yeah,
Texas.
Well, I'm not a big mustard-based fan, or the white barbecue
from Alabama
either. So Ray says actually LinkedIn accounts for about 30% of his clients.
In the fact that most of your accounts come from LinkedIn, I think that says right there, because LinkedIn is a very high-end business oriented platform. And we have a bunch of people watching off of LinkedIn now too. We've done better off of LinkedIn than Twitter.
Yeah. Mega Lab says yes. Dean says it's never a bad time to rebrand. Always be evolving and refreshing your looks. Smart move.
Good.
Yeah.
Some people never learn because they're comfortable in the mud.
Very true.
Right. And then it says you've been to the shop.
As soon as he said that, I saw it. I remember it in Akron, Ohio.
I like the fact that he's got the pirate flag right there. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, nothing. I felt stupid. As soon as I saw that come up, I'm like, I know exactly where he is. So my apologies.
Dean says, always brand a market to look bigger than you are, and soon you'll be there. Then rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Glenn says it's similar to Gore-Tex about the rainwear. Yeah. Akron, Ohio. There you go. Ray says Grundon's PVC coated cloth. We use some of the same types of cloth in the printing awning industry. Tough stuff to work with.
Yep.
Ron says, I think we spoke. You were generous with your time and you gave good advice. It was charging 5 times what you think it's going to cost.
Oh, yeah. I remember now. Yes.
Good. That's awesome. Great. All right. Hey, we're over halfway. We're going to run a little ad real quick for GSG. So we want to talk about today. Please go to gsg.com and go gsg.com and look at their new Pulse. And today we want to talk about being organized with the rolling cart, right, or the screen rack. And I think these are really necessary for shops because one of the things that I've been to lots of shops, and I can tell you the ones that are really effective with their time, the screen room will have a cart for that press. And we're putting all the screens for tomorrow or maybe 2 days from now in a rolling cart. And we're going to roll all of the screens for the production for that press to the cart at once. And as we're using them, we're putting them back, the used screens back into the rack, and those get rolled to reclaiming. And we're not humping screens around like 2 at a time and one, in each hand. This is how you become more effective, more organized, all that kind of stuff. And so if you're interested in learning how to do that, here's 2 great places you can get. One place to get 2 different types of products for that. And I think it's really, really a good thing. And I know, Alan, you've been in a lot of shops that use racks. This is a really great thing to do.
Especially as people on the screen rack, as people are getting into auto reclaim, like you said, Marshall, you put them out of auto reclaim, they're drying right there. And usually like with the Blue Water one and some of them, by the time you get the top one in and you're down to the bottom, man, that is money because those things are drying. You're rolling them into the room and you're bringing another rack in. You can never have too many racks. And
There you
I love the carts because, Marshall, you're real big on kit packing, on having stuff for the job. And there should be multiple carts like that where you could put, okay, here's the job, here's the screens. They're already exposed. Your ink, your tools are right in there, and they are ready to go for that next job.
Yeah.
And
right.
yeah, it is all about efficiency. And these are not expensive items. Get multiple ones, people. They are time savers. And when you save time, that's profit and money.
Well, I know somebody's going, hey, that's almost $300.
Yeah.
Okay. But you guess what? You're spending that money already because somebody's having to walk these stuff around manually, which means you're not printing.
Yep.
So think about your cost per hour with your press operator. You're spending this money already in lost revenue and opportunity for jobs not getting out.
Yep.
Right. So this is how you get a lot of your downtime saved, is by cutting out that downtime, because everything is sitting right there for your folks.
100%.
Yep.
Anyway, just wanted to share that.
Online at GSG, perfect.
That's right. So
I'll need to buy a couple of those.
right.
There you go.
$285 just bought you an employee. There you
That's a very good price.
Very true, Omega Lab. Yeah, absolutely.
Because all the Rex, I never could understand why somebody would charge like $400 or $500 for those, and a lot of companies do online.
Yeah,
for a screen rack. That's insane.
Well,
Well,
they
gone
charge
up and
that
stuff
because
like
they
that,
can.
but
Or,
yeah.
Here you go. Yeah, here. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I've worked for distributors and stuff, so sometimes they're not in control of that. But
Yeah.
285 is a great one. I know the Nortec racks are incredible. And
Awesome,
even
yeah.
$400. You know, when we're talking about time saved, shoot, you spend
Well,
$400
what I
on
did-
stupid stuff.
Yeah, what I did, I went the cheap way because I didn't know the 285 price existed. So I bought the baking racks and I just
Absolutely.
extended them, right?
Yep.
But I mean that baking rack, still was $200 plus, and I spent so much time assembling it. But
Yep.
285 is a screaming deal. Damn it!
Now, those racks will need to be assembled, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
still just, and I don't care if they're baking racks or whatever, man. If they fit, then get them.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Right.
But like you said, sometimes I go and I can get a better price at a surplus
Exactly.
restaurant store. Really, how much time will we have extending it and all that? Where just get them.
Exactly. How many trips to Home Depot buying longer
Exactly.
bolts? God
Yeah,
damn
and
it!
sometimes we end up stepping over $1 to pick up a nickel.
Yeah.
yeah. Right. All right. Hey, next topic is minimum quantities. And I know you're thinking about redoing what you're doing. So kind of like share your thoughts about that. And we have a lot of folks on here who may have already completed this project. So why don't you talk about where you are with that, and let's have a good discussion on it.
So where I am right now, I'm 48 pieces, right? Minimum. So anyone calls under 48, sorry, can't help you. Well, unless you're Microsoft, Amazon, T-Mobile, or whatever, and you need some more, of course, we'll get it done. But everyone else, no. 48. I was actually, my plan at the end of the last year, I was planning to raise my minimum to 96. That was my original plan because I had one auto, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with 48s anymore. I need to go higher quantities. So, but now I have 2.5 autos, and not enough people. But at the same time, so 96 is good. Like for me, I feel comfortable going from 48 to 96 because this way I can weed out a lot of people, potential customers that not necessarily fit my model, I guess. But things changed again because now I'm building the true online e-commerce store where it's similar to Custom Ink, or any other platform out there. And so I'm trying to build something similar to that. Right now, I have 200 products, and we're not even done yet. So 200 products, not 2,000 products, not 2,000 SKUs. It's 2,000 products. So I'm just, at this point, I'm just trying to get as much stuff as possible online. And then I'm actually going to spend time and get rid of a lot of it. mostly because I don't want to sell, you know, $2 t-shirt. I mean, I will offer $2 t-shirt, but I want to offer, good, better, best option kind of idea. And and offer something inexpensive and go like next level Bella canvas, AS color, and then bring maybe something else, something more premium, right? Because I don't want people to spend a lot of time. I mean, there is place and time for inexpensive shirts, but I don't want to have 100 different variations of it, right? I'm gonna pick 10, and that's it.
So
And
there's
uh-huh,
there's a whole theory on this, Artem, which is called anchoring, right? So a lot of companies will have a low cost thing, right, or something cheap or whatever, and they'll have something really high, right?
yep,
And so what happens is most people see the real cheap thing and they go, nah, that's not going to work for me because of the whatever, right?
yep,
And the Cadillac version is just too much. The whole theory is that the middle price thing is where everybody goes.
yep.
And that's because it fits.
Mhm.
Nice yawn there, Alan.
Oh, I know. Sorry about that, guys.
Fits
My
the
face is when it disappeared.
fits their thinking, right? And so this happens
Yep,
in
yep.
restaurants, this happens in airline tickets, this happens a lot of places. Okay, so
Mhm.
what you want to do is you want to steer your most profitable stuff to the middle, right? And that's where
Mhm.
all your value and that's where all your money's made is with that, with that kind of a thinking, right?
Yep. I mean, I will, like I said, I mean, I have a lot of ideas on it. I don't want to have a lot of junk on it, right? So I want to make it so it's different than everyone else, right? I don't want to sell a t-shirt for $5.99 or whatever. Like, that's not my goal. If you land and I so that's one, right? I mean, I have so many different directions that I want to take it to, because right now I'm going to offer just screen printing and embroidery on this
Right.
platform, but at the same time I will run the specials where it's going to be on the same platform but a little bit more hidden behind the doors, where I will offer my specialty decoration techniques, right? Like I'll offer an OGO polo with the D-Boss logo on the left chest or on the collar, and I'll call it, for $39.99 all in, all the setups, everything included.
Right.
And I will do those promotions to promote my specialty decoration techniques, right? Uh, so we'll see. I have a lot of plans, a lot of ideas of how I want to do that, but I mean, I've been working on it for a while. So once it's done, I think it's going to be an awesome tool, because again, I was just like, and even now, if you go in my shop, it's going to link you to SNS website, right? To look at the products, to give you, where you can look at the products, search, but you cannot buy it, right? All you can do is to send an email and ask for a quote, which most of us do. And what happens is we're driving, so people on your website, you click on my shop, it'll take you to SNS custom website. So now they're off your website. So the traffic, the Google, everything stops, right? So I want to bring everything on my platform. So people spend more than 30 seconds on my website browsing through. They actually spend minutes
Mhm.
researching and reading and studying and whatever it might be, right? So, and that's the whole idea. That's the reason why I didn't go Shopify route, because you're taking them off your platform, and it works. I mean, they have all the tools, they have everything that you can possibly imagine, but it was too easy for me, so I went the difficult route. So
Yeah.
I'm building everything in the WordPress.
It's the Russian way, right?
The Russian
So,
way, exactly.
we got some really great comments here. So Glenn says R&D and high value applications can be some of the best money you'll spend. Keeps you out of the commodity market.
100%.
Here you go,
Mark
exactly.
says screen room to press for me is less than 50 feet, and I still use my screen carts one trip, not three.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yep.
Dean says my screen minimum was 24, but he would run anything less than 24 with DTG.
Yep.
And knew that the DTG customers will likely be a one-time sale. Surprisingly, several of the DTG customers were the best word of mouth to get larger orders from other new
Wow.
customers.
Interesting. But I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, I'm gonna create the whole system with the follow-up emails, the upsells, downsells, side sells, I don't know, right? So I'm actually I'm spending a lot of money on it to build a good, robust, all-in-one system that I'm eventually hopefully gonna branch out and start selling on your channel, and I'm gonna be your sponsor. So I'm moving in the tech direction.
Well, I don't know about that.
We'll see, but it's awesome because I feel like if shops like mine or any screen print or embroidery shop, if they had an opportunity to have an online store, it would save so much time, right? Because right now people calling us, sending us email, hey, I'm looking to buy 48 shirts, and then you go in the mock-ups and can you adjust this, and you having conversations with them before you even got their money. When you
Right.
do, when you charge them, and then I know there are ways of how to do it, say, hey, if you're on board, we'll do it for you, but money up front, please. But sometimes it doesn't go as planned. So but having the online portal where people can actually go and buy and pay, you already have their money. So if you have a problem with the art file, you're like, hey, your art file sucks, either send us a better vector or we can recreate it for you for $65. So now I'm not hostage. I'm not like, hey, I already have your money. So now we're on your timeline, right? So I feel like this noise, we can get rid of a lot of those things, right? Somebody calls, says, hey, I need 48 shirts. Yeah, no problem. Go online, buy it.
So,
We'll get it to you.
So, Artem, for your online store, are you using any of the industry platforms? Because there's a lot of that's already been built. Instead of you reinventing that,
I am reinventing things.
Or Deco, or whoever. Are you using? Have you looked into using any of that?
No, not. I mean, I did briefly, but because I built the tool where you pick a black T-shirt and you upload your design. So my software or tool, whatever you call it, it will recognize how many colors is in that logo, and it will automatically will give you a price, right? So you don't have to go manually and select, like on a custom ink, you select 5-color front, 3-color back. This way it will recognize how many colors in the logo, and I will add the white base just in case anyways on the back end. And and that's it. So I feel like the custom route is better because I can integrate all of my vendors, right? The Senmars, the SNS, and I'm gonna add I want to have lanyards and drinkware and all of those things, right? Where I can just outsource them. So I want to be the 4 imprint, but on a little bit smaller scale. But a lot of those things I'll do in-house, right? So if it's laser etching on the tumbler, I got a laser. We can do it in-house if it's a small order or the turnaround time is too long, for example, right? So I will pick and choose which things I want to do in-house and which things I want to outsource. That's kind of the plan.
Okay.
But it's too premature to say.
Yeah. So if you're watching right now, how do you guys get to your minimum quantities? Did you just make it up? Did you just pull it out of your butt? Was there a formula? Was there some sort of rationale behind it? Do you have a minimum for each decoration application? Whatever, right? We'd love to know how you guys are thinking about that. And for me, anything less than a case of shirts, right? I'm running on a manual press, and under a certain quantity, that's going to be DTG. So or a heat these days, or a heat transfer, right? So
DTX.
Now the only thing is that if it's high end like he does and it's mixed medium, then that's a whole different bag. But I also love too that you're not looking at going, I don't want to jump into the lower price pool. You're looking at smaller quantities. I can get it done. It could be high end, and you're just moving the needle of what minimums are of high end things. So what this reminds me of I watched on television and how the Men That Made America had talked about the burger wars, how Wendy's actually moved the needle on what the largest hamburger is. So the Wendy's single is bigger than any other burger out there when they came out. But people put the weights and then they realized, oh, Americans don't understand that.
Yeah, they thought a quarter pounder was more than a third.
A third a pound. So they just go, okay, here's our small one.
It's a 3, not a 4.
So they did the single, double, triple. Nobody will order a triple. Nobody needs that. They will go single or double, and now they've just moved the needle to what is acceptable on there. And I thought that's what it reminded me of there. You're just going, here it is. You want smaller quantities? I can do it. High end. Here's the cost.
Exactly. And see, I mean, without that, having that online portal and doing the 48s, because I am mostly do projects in Washington State, right?
Yep.
So what I usually do, I rarely ship. I either deliver myself and have a few minutes with the client, because I never met the person. We're just on the phone or emails, and I'm like, hey, I can either deliver myself, but I want to meet you and I want to, spend 10, 15 minutes with you talking about politics and stuff. Right? But I mean, right, so I can understand what they do, how often do they, what they order, what they buy, where do they buy everything. Or better yet, my trick is always to get them here inside my production area, because this way I can, number one, show my production area and say, hey, we do everything in house. Here are all the machines. Here's how we do it. Right? One, they never seen it before. They all go, oh my God, so that's how embroidery works. I'm like, yeah, needle goes up and down,
Yep.
right? And the same with screen printing. And then I show them the samples in my showroom, and then you can see their wheels turning, and they're like, oh my God, you can do this, you can do that. And I'm like, boom, sold forever.
And then the upsell stuff, like you said, drinkware, things like that. So
Exactly. So it works. But again, because I'm trying to keep this at this point, keep it local in Washington State. I mean, I have my challenges, but like I said, I mean, I'm making deliveries not on a daily basis, but this is kind of my thing. I jump in the car, I listen to some audiobook, and Contagious is the new book that I started listening to. Is awesome about branding. So I'm all about branding right now. By the time I'm done with it, it's gonna be, you can call me with any questions. So but yeah, Contagious, this is marketing by Seth, forget his last name, but yeah. So I've been listening to all of those books, but so that's what I do. Like I said, spending face to face with the clients it's a valuable time.
Right. So Dean says you can get a 4-patty burger when he's off the secret menu called the Meat Cube. Random fact of the day. You need to have it, Alan.
Yeah, I'm sure. One, I don't even know there was a secret menu called the Meat Cube. How do you know that, Dean? And I'm sure that comes with a side of Lipitor right away and nitroglycerin pill, for the heart attack that's awaiting you. You know what? My large burger days have been behind me for a while. Now I get the smallest one and I get no fries or anything with it. I do it. So 4-patty burger. Does anybody really need that?
So no. So we're nearly out of time. So Artem, what's next for you? What are you working on these days? What are you interested in besides redoing everything with your business and turning it upside down?
That's all. Real quick. Secret menu? Has anybody thought about having a secret menu?
No, I should be working.
I just thought about the shirt.
You should have the secret Russian decoration menu, right?
I should. Yeah, it will come with the Russian hat, the Ushanka, and because that was the picture, my original picture that I wanted to send you for the interview. I'm like, I'm gonna wear a Russian goddamn hat.
I like you shirtless riding the bear. That was awesome.
Exactly, the bear was
hilarious.
Yeah, so I mean everything, right? I mean, I'm running around.
If you think it looks similar to a certain world leader, it might.
Yeah, my guy. That's been around forever.
And will
I'm like, oh
continue
my
to be
God,
around forever.
yeah, the late 90s, right? I mean, he took over, and I'm like, okay, I guess
Man, what was he, head of the
it's
KGB
working.
during the
Yeah, I
war and
mean,
all that?
it's
Yeah,
interesting. But I
very
mean, last
interesting.
time I was there 8 years before I started doing this, I would go to Russia 6 times a year for my previous business, import
Mhm.
export, and it's awesome. I love it. I mean, it was beautiful. Now I'm afraid to go, and well, I don't have a reason to go anymore. But oops, 10 o'clock.
So, hey,
Marshall,
I want
Alan,
to.
thank you.
Yeah, I want to give the
Good.
update on your daughters. Are we going to see them in the Olympics? What's the story with that?
Yes. Yep. So she's state champion. So nationals are gonna be here soon. She's just came back from Brussels. She's gonna go. Oh no, not Brussels. I'm sorry, Luxembourg. So we
Okay.
started sending her internationally. So she is 14 and she's kicking butts. So she has. I mean, she competes almost every other week, and my wife and her, they're traveling all over the country, and she's doing it. It's happening. So if anyone knows Nike, please reach out. We need the
How
sponsor soon.
how about can we get her like a Q&A with Alan and Marshall towel, something like that?
Yeah,
We'll see what we can do. I'll talk to her
yeah,
manager.
right. All right, guys. Well, hey, have a good weekend, and appreciate everyone that's watching right now. And if you're watching as a recording, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate everybody.
Thank you, Alan Marshall. Thank you. Thank
Have
you
a
all.
glad to have you, Artem. Everybody have a great holiday
Yep.
weekend. And I'm just realizing out of my window, why are there kids up and down the street on there? Because today's a holiday. So yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All
Have
right.
a good weekend.
We'll talk to you later.
Take care. Bye.